there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Shady and you are in the zone. If you are new here, if you just stopped by, I would appreciate it. You could make an old redneck from Mississippi very happy if you would just reach up there, click on that subscribe button, maybe hit that little bell so when a new video comes out, you get an alert. Go down, make a comment in the comment section. Um, I'm glad you're here. As I'm recording this, y'all, it's getting pretty late, but I wanted to get this done. So here I am in the new studio with the new camera. We're gonna see how this goes. I finally did it. I finally watched Leave the World Behind. Now, here's the funny thing about this. Everybody kept talking about this movie. I kept hearing, "Oh, you got to watch this movie. This movie's great," or "This movie sucks," or there were comments flying around everywhere about this movie. And somebody had originally told me that this was on YouTube. No, not YouTube. I'm sorry. That this was on Tubi. So I look all over Tubi and I find Leave the World Behind. I click on this movie. It's about some boy band from Amsterdam breaking up or something. It's some kind of documentary complete with subtitles in the whole 9 yards. A little bit later on, I found out the movie was on Netflix. I happened to have Netflix, so it was a good day for me. I clicked on it. I set Mrs. Shady down and we decided, and we went about watching this movie. Now, what I did not do was tell her who produced the movie. Um, I actually went into this movie and I wanted to hate it. I really did. I wanted to hate this movie because Barack and Michelle Obama were the executive producers on this movie. Excuse me. So I went into it kind of wanting to hate it. Then on the other hand, I went into this movie wanting to really like it. And why would I want to really like it? Well, I'll tell you why I wanted to really like it. It is an apocalyptic movie. It is the end of the world. It is the destruction of America. Hoorah. So I wanted to see this movie. So I really wanted to hate it and I really wanted to love it at the same time. Now, one thing I can say about the movie is this. The plot was good. The storyline was good. This movie was about America being cyber attacked and what would happen after everything goes down. Um, so yeah, I was into that. Um, the plot was good. Okay, and there's going to probably be some spoilers in here, just so you guys know. Y'all just get ready. There's probably going to be some spoilers in here. What happens in the movie is this family of four, father, mother, two kids, boy and a girl. They rent this house, sort of out in the boonies, out in the middle of nowhere. But it's not like a cabin. This is like a mansion almost. It's got a pool. It's got this bar. It's a nice house. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. Well, they rent this house and they get to it and things start getting a little weird. I mean, the Wi-Fi goes off. Their cell phones don't work. And they're kind of scratching their heads wondering what's going on. Well, about the time this all starts happening, there's a knock on the door and it's the owner of the house, the guy who rented it to him for the weekend. And this was just a last minute kind of thing that they did is they go to this house and he says something's happened. We're not sure what it is, but we were close by and we just want to spend the night. And it goes on from there. Now, the cast, there's actually some pretty good people in this movie. Okay, Julia Roberts, Ellen Brockovich, Pretty Woman. She's in there. She is Amanda Sanford. That's her name in the movie. She's the mom, and one of the downfalls of the movie, in my opinion, one of the downfalls of the movie is they spend the entire movie trying to show some kind of change in Amanda. You know, she goes from being, excuse my language, but she goes from a straight up certified bitch to they want to soften her up. They want to make her more human. And I don't know. It's like that was the focus on the movie. Um, Ethan Hawke plays her husband, Clay. Um, Clay's a professor, something like, yeah, he's a college professor. Clay is one of the most woke soy boy beta males that I have ever saw before in my life. I'm not kidding you. Um, and they do absolutely nothing to make his character better the entire time. Um, the guy who plays G.H. Scott, who is the owner of the house, his name is, I'm going to try to say this right, Mahershala Ali. Okay, like I said, he plays G.H. Scott. He is the owner of the house. He's honestly, he's probably one of the strongest characters in the movie. Um, his character is some kind of financial expert. He helps very rich people move money around and invest money and things like that. And he goes on in the movie and he explains that he's dealing with this one person that has got a lot of money and has dropped this subtle hint to him, um, basically, take care of yourself. You know, that's really all he says. But you know, I mean, the guy has got access to a satellite phone. Um, yeah, and like I said, he owns this big, huge house, and it never really tells you exactly what he does or what he did. I mean, that is the story. He's some kind of financial expert helping these people move money around, making the rich richer, and all this stuff. Um, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon actually plays Danny. Um, and Danny is the prepper character in the movie. Danny actually had contracted for Mr. Scott, did a lot of work around his house. The family notices him in town, and he's loading up cases of water in the back of his truck. Um, you know, the Kevin Bacon thing kind of takes you back to the movie Tremors, which he starred in. And let me see, Tremors had, what was, I can't remember the guy's name. He was the father in the TV show Family Ties. He played the prepper in the movie. And his wife was Reba McEntire. So there's sort of kind of a, you know, you kind of want to accept Kevin Bacon as a prepper. Um, Let me see. Charlie Evans. Charlie Evans plays the son. He is the older of the two children. He plays the son. Um, you know, in my opinion, he was probably one of the most realistic characters in the movie. He was like the older brother. He's always, you know, I won't say being mean to his sister, but he was at least realistic to his sister. His sister, um, Farrah McKenzie, um, she's a strange little girl. I mean, the world is ending, and she is obsessed with the TV show Friends. I don't know. She's obsessed with the TV show Friends, and I think there's 2 episodes left in the whole series that she hasn't seen. And her major concern in the entire movie is how am I going to find out what happened to everybody on the TV show? That is seriously, that is her concern. The world is falling apart. You know, nothing is working, and that is what she's worried about. Kind of shows you where the youth of America's mindset is at. But anyway, the older brother is the one that tells her, "You're probably never going to see those last TV shows because the world has pretty much went to shit, and nothing works. So just accept it and move on." Now, um, also, the Ruth Scott character, um, G.H. Scott's daughter, is played by one of those girls. Maybe you guys know her. I don't, because I don't listen to hip hop. I'm not into that scene. Don't know anything about it. I'm gonna probably butcher her name also, but Mahala, I think is how you say it. Um, and she is a just she's the epitome of a young woke girl. Um, it seems like to me during the entire movie, her sole purpose is to try to stir things up. She's constantly telling her father, "This is our house," you know. Uh, the father said this to me, and the father said that to me, and you know, the mother said this, and the mother said that. She just, it seems like she just tries to stir things up in the movie. Um, and I'll be honest with you, there is an underlying racist tone throughout this whole movie on both sides, white and black. Okay? If you watch carefully, you'll see it. Like I said, I wanted to like the movie. I really did. But there was some things in the movie that, to me personally, didn't make any sense. If you guys have seen the movie and some of these things actually make sense to you, please put them in the comments down below. Let me know so I can understand. Um, excuse me. Um, we see in the movie this gigantic oil tanker is, they go to the beach. The family goes to the beach for a day at the beach, and this is before Mr. Scott and his daughter show up. They go to the beach for a day at the beach, and off in the distance there's an oil tanker, and it's pointed straight at the beach. And as the day goes on, this tanker gets closer and closer and closer and closer. And finally, it runs ashore right there on the beach. So you got that, okay? Because the internet is gone, GPS is gone, guidance systems are gone, right? Okay. So that happens. A little bit later on in the movie, you see airplanes falling out of the sky, crashing everywhere. I believe Scott goes to the neighbor's house, you know, a little ways away, which is up on the beach, it looks like. And there's bodies are washing up on the beach, and there's actually a plane crashes right there. Once again, all the GPS, all the navigation, all that stuff is just gone, okay? But then there's one scene where the Ethan Hawke character, the dad, he's going to go to town and try to find out what's going on, and he has no GPS, and the idiot gets lost. There is one scene where this Hispanic lady, she's standing on the side of the road, and he pulls over, rolls the window down, and she's speaking to him in Spanish, and you can tell that she's begging him for help, and I think it's something about her son, but I'm not 100% sure. He drives away from her, just leaves her standing there because he can't understand what she's saying. Like I said, he's a sissy man anyway. You know, he's your typical beta male. He gets out of there, just leaves her standing on the side of the road. As he's driving, he looks in his rearview mirror, and you see this something in the distance behind him that's getting closer and closer, and there's this huge, like, red cloud. And you know, what the hell is that? The first thing Mrs. Shady said was, "It's pestilence," and it did. It looked like a huge swarm of insects. What it was this big, huge drone, and it's dropping just hundreds of thousands of these propaganda sheets written in Arabic. Okay. GPS is gone, navigation systems are gone, satellites are gone, everything's gone, but whoever's controlling this satellite still has the power to run the satellite, or not satellite, I'm sorry. Whoever's running this drone still has the power to run this drone and drop these satellites. I'm, I got satellites stuck on in my head, y'all. Drop these leaflets written in Arabic. Um, and you hear something in one of the little just clips of news information that they get about something. They never say what. Something has happened down south, and it has changed the migratory habits of a bunch of animals. Okay. Um, what the hell is up with the deer is beyond me. Because all of a sudden, deer. Yep, Bambi, deer. All of a sudden they're stalking and trying to attack humans. There is one scene where Ruth Scott, the daughter of GH, and Amanda are in this shed, and they're having this heartfelt thing, and you know, the girl kind of just lets everything go and tells her, you know, you think you're scared, you think you got problems. You know, my mom was supposed to be on a flight, and I may never see her again. And you know, the violins are playing, and once again we are trying to make the Julia Roberts character soften up to where people will like her. And while they're in this cabin, there's this huge commotion outside, and they go out and they don't see anything. Julia Roberts, I think, starts heading back toward the house or whatever. Well, the girl, Ruth, she goes around to the back of the shed, and there's probably 100 deer standing there, just staring her down. And these deer have been kind of in and out through the movie. The other little girl has been seeing them in and out throughout the whole movie. But all of a sudden, these deer are looking at her like, kill, kill, kill. And this huge stag shows up in the middle of them, and they're about to charge. Amanda runs back, starts yelling. You know, the girl starts yelling. The deers run off. It's why? It's not explained in the movie. Nothing. You know, it doesn't make sense. And then there's the sound, this ringing sound that, you know, you can't handle it. They're covering their ears. Actually, the oldest boy, the son, he gets what almost seems like radiation sickness. Okay, and the way Kevin Bacon, the prepper guy, explains it is it's some kind of microwave weapon. He says, you know, like got used down in Cuba a few years ago. You know, caused nosebleeds and hemorrhaging out of the ears and all kinds of fun stuff. It's like a microwave weapon or something like that. There's just things in the movie that don't add up, don't make sense. The ending was, you know, you sort of kind of expected it. But, you know, I got up, and then I surprised Mrs. Shady by telling her that Barack and Michelle Obama were the executive producers of this movie. I got up and oh, and by the way, I think it was the director. I had read a comment somewhere about the director of the movie, or one of the producers had sat down with Barack Obama, and he was giving her footnotes and this and that and the other about, you know, the situation, about the circumstances, about the plot. And she said that some of what he told her scared the bejeebers out of her. So, I don't know. I got up and I walked away from the movie. And I was like, it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. You know, the acting was all right. The character development sucked. The plot was good. You know, there was, you know, this, that, or the other. So, you know, I didn't really have any great opinion of it one way or another. I will say this, it's not a great movie, but it don't suck. Okay? So, that is Leave the World Behind. It is not the boy band movie that is on Tubi and some of the other channels that you get free. It is only on Netflix, as far as I know. That may change. The second thing that I want to talk about is right around the same time. I think this movie was released last Friday on Netflix, and we watched it night before last. And it was right then that the trailer for a new movie coming out in the spring of next year was announced. And the name of that movie is Civil War. And everybody from the trailer, everybody is throwing out all kinds of theories about this movie. Um, the premise of it is a civil war is broken out in the United States. Um, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just say something here, y'all, just to get it out of the way. And you don't have to agree with me. That's fine, because I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this Civil War thing. Let's do this revolution thing. Um, yeah, guys, listen. I'm just gonna tell you right now. The chances of a civil war or a revolution happening in this country are very, very slim. And I know there's a lot of you that are going to disagree. Go ahead, you can put it in the comments. Don't be hateful. That's fine. But listen, the chances of a real civil war happening in this country or a revolution happening in this country are, I'm just going to be bluntly honest with y'all, they're slim to none. You can change my mind if you want to. I'll be more than happy to entertain your opinion. But before you go, down in the comments or in the chat, just trolling the crap out of me for saying it, let's think about a couple of things. First of all, the logistics of a civil war in this country are would be a nightmare. Okay? The first Civil War, y'all, there was a clear boundary. Okay, there were states in the middle that were kind of, neutral states, but there was a clear boundary. There was North versus South. That's not gonna happen again. Okay, this nation is so divided that no matter where you are, I don't care if you are in the bluest city in this world, if you're in Chicago, if you're in New York, if you're in Houston, if you're in Denver, freaking Colorado, blue city, there are still people in that city that are conservative, that are patriots. You know, what will end up happening if there is a civil war is it will be totally guerrilla warfare. Okay? And I know there are some of you guys out there that have served. There are some of you guys out there that are watching this that have been overseas, that have been in the Middle East, that have been in Afghanistan. You guys know exactly how horrible, how terrible, how crazy guerrilla warfare is. Okay? So you got that. Okay, also, there's no leadership structure. Okay? There's not, how do I put this? There is not a system to where anything like that could actually come to fruition. Because, all right, we all see what happened on January 6th. And we all see what happened to the people who were just kind of walking through the Capitol like tourists. And yeah, there were some people there that were raising hell and doing dumb stuff. But how many people are in jail right now for that? How many people are in prison right now for that without any lawyer, without any representation, and are getting charged? There was a guy that had nothing to do with this thing. He had went to Washington for a funeral, and the FBI come knocking at his door. Okay? So there's no real leadership in place. There's no structure for leadership, and it's going to be damn hard to put one up. And I hate to say this, I do, but I don't think that most Americans have got the stomach for it. And I know there are some people out there that do. Um, but most people don't have the stomach for a war right now. One of the things, all right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just say, okay, this did happen. Okay, there is a civil war going on in this country. Yada yada. What people are not seeing, what people are not connecting the dots just from the trailer of the movie is everybody thinks, okay, yeah, the patriots, the Americans, we're gonna get sick and tired of the government and we're gonna revolt and there's gonna be a civil war and we're gonna put them down. That's what everybody's thinking. Um, if you pay attention to the trailer, you're gonna realize something. That line of thinking is twisted. It's backwards. Okay, it's not gonna be the woke crowd in the White House that's in control. And I'm going to explain this. Just bear with me. Hang on. Wait a second. It is not going to be the Joe Biden in the White House. It is not going to be the Barack Obama in the White House. What they are looking at doing, and I'm going to explain this. What they are looking at doing, what I think, from what I can tell, what they are looking at doing is they're going to portray this out that a hardcore right wing conservative, Donald Trump, is in the White House. And it's not what you think. Because what have they been saying about Donald Trump for the past, 3 years, 4 years, 8 years? He's a fascist. He wants to be a dictator. Okay? He once he gets into the White House, if he gets the presidency again, he's never going to give it up. If you pay attention to the trailer, the guy that's in the White House is a third-term president. Okay, and I know that can go either way, but you see in the plot of the movie, there's 17, maybe 19. I'm not exactly certain which number it is. States which have seceded from the Union. Now, the two states that are leading this thing, this confederacy, we'll call it for lack of better words, but the two states that are leading this confederacy are California and Texas. You've got two states that are politically polar opposites of each other. And everybody is saying, well, how do you think California turned red? California, except for little tiny places in California, is a solid blue state. They've given us such hits as Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi, and yeah, how do they turn blue? I mean, how do they turn red? The thing about it is California doesn't turn red, y'all. The thing about it is Texas turns blue. And you're saying, no, no, and I know there's some of you out there from Texas. Okay, don't hate me. Go online and pull up a political map of Texas from, I don't know, 2010. Pull that map up. And you're going to see Texas, and you're going to see that all the major metropolitan centers are blue, dark blue. But Texas is huge. Texas is a huge state. And there are enough people, rural counties out there, to where the balance has stayed and it's tilted red. Now, go pull up a recent political map of Texas. And what you're going to see is there are counties in western Texas that are turning blue. There are counties in southern Texas that are turning blue. Okay? Now you put on top of that, you add to the top of that all the illegals, that are coming across that southern border. Not all of these people are getting shipped to Chicago. Not all these people are getting shipped to Martha's Vineyard. Not all these people are going to Denver and all these big blue cities, where Abbott's saying, oh yeah, you want to bring them over here, then you just take this and we'll see how you do with it. They're not all going there. Okay? There's a lot of them, we don't know where the hell they went. They never got caught. We don't know where they went. Texas is being invaded. And not in the way you think, but the liberals have said for years they want Texas, and they're going to turn Texas. This is why there's more and more and more of them moving into Texas. So, just from what one of the good things about it, one of the kind of twisty things about it is in the course of the trailer, a reporter asked the president, well, how do you feel about using airstrikes on your own citizens? And it cuts away before he can answer. So do not expect this movie to be what you think it's going to be, because I can pretty much guarantee you it's not. You got to ask yourself why. Why are they doing this? Why would they put out a movie like that? Guys, next year is an election year. Okay? Next year is the election year. This movie's set to come out in spring. Okay? If what I think is true about this movie is true, what is that going to do? That is going to put a subliminal message in voters' ears. If you vote for Trump, this is what's going to happen to your country. Yeah, you see how they're playing this game? Now, whether that's true or not, whether Shady doing the fortune reader thing, whether that is true or not, you have to ask yourself, why? Why are they putting out a movie about civil war in the springtime just before an election? Why is Barack and Michelle Obama the executive producers of a movie that shows the end of the United States? I think Kevin Bacon makes this statement in the movie that, yeah, we went out and made a lot of enemies in the world, and I think they're all pissed off, and this is how they're going to get us. If you listen to that, the whole world has ganged up on the United States and they're plotting to destroy us. But you have to ask yourselves, why are they doing this? What is the reason behind it? I think some of y'all might have some good ideas about that. Why don't you do me a favor? If you think you know, don't just put it over in the comments over there, y'all. Or don't just put it in chat over there, y'all. Put it down in the comments below so everybody can see this. Remember, this is a premiere, and not everybody is going to see what you're saying in chat. Okay? But if you put it down in the comments, then everybody will see it. And hey, I'm not saying I'm 100% on any of this, but what I am saying is, y'all know me. I listen, I look, I pay attention, I try to read in between the lines. So, like I said, ask yourself, why are they doing this? What purpose could this possibly serve? I think you know the answer. All right. Thank you guys very much for stopping in. I appreciate it. Like I said, share the videos. If you some of my shady folks, share the videos. If you just stopped in, hey, please go up there and hit the subscribe. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Until the next time, y'all take care. God bless. Stay shady.